friends, history enthusiasts, and community members, and welcome to St. Mary's Church in Franklin, Vermont. I'm Wesley Kempton.
And I'm Bryce Batchelder.
And today we are excited to be giving you this coverage from Northwest Access TV of an event more than 100 years in the making.
105 years to be exact, Wesley. That's CV in Roman numerals.
Very good, Bryce. The event that we are here to cover today is the unearthing of a time capsule, which was placed in a stone in the foundation of this church 105 years ago, CV years ago.
That's right, and this is our resume builder, speaking of CVs. But we're excited to open it up and see what's in there today, and also give the folks in the future a little taste of what was happening in this current moment.
But before we get to the big reveal, we're going to talk with Dave Benyon, the head of the Franklin Select Board and member of the Franklin Historical Society, to get a little more insight into what might be lying in this time capsule, and also a little more context about the Franklin residents of 1916. And I'm excited to hear what he has to say about this time capsule.
Me too.
Dave, the first question to ask today is, why today?
Well, one of our Historical Society members was driving by in 2018, and she noticed the date 1916 on the church cornerstone, and it made her think that if there were a time capsule in there, we were overdue on getting it. So we started plans on that, and then COVID hit, so here we are.
Well, I think my mind goes to 1916. What do we know about Franklin at that time, and why maybe was a time capsule put in here at the church in 1916?
Well, in 1916, they had just torn down the old Catholic church, which was in disrepair, and they were building a new one. So they had the foundation in and the deck on, and as they were laying the cornerstone, they put a time capsule into it that gave people in the future a bit of a window on what was happening at that time.
Bryce has one more question for you, Dave.
Dave, looking forward to the future, what do you hope the people of 2121 will know about our town here this year?
Well, to help them know something about our town, we plan on putting some items from the current period in the time capsule when we put it back in the cornerstone, such as coins from the time, a little bit about the political climate of the time. We'll definitely be including a mask to cover COVID, and a list of the people who are attending here today.
The excitement is building. Let's go inside now.
Good afternoon, and welcome everybody. Very excited for everybody's attendance. On behalf of the Franklin Historical Society, I welcome you. I'm Kim Gates Maynard, the president of the Franklin Historical Society. We are proud to have this opportunity to work with St. Mary's Parish Council for this event. And we want to thank the public for attending and for the donations, and also for the Parish Council's support. Today's event is part of Living History. The time capsule will give us a glimpse, hopefully, into the past from over 100 years ago. And after this event, we will be gathering items to be placed back into a time capsule. So if anybody has some items to suggest or to donate to be considered, we would appreciate that. One of the items is there's an attendance list from today that we plan to put back into the time capsule. So if you haven't had time, after we open the time capsule, please come up and sign in. We would appreciate that. The Franklin Historical Society was formed in 1959, and our goal is to help preserve, educate, and involve the community in Franklin's history. So thank you for being part of history. And now I'm going to introduce Father Dan Jordan, pastor of St. Mary's and other area parishes.
Good afternoon. We come together to remember history. Now, sometimes we think of, when you hear of the year 1916, you think, what was going on then? well, World War I was going on, but we weren't in it. What was going on in Vermont? Governor Gates was the governor, his family is descendants are here. Andy Rainville's father was 14 years old. Yeah. Andy's only 91. And St. Mary's has been here. This building's been here since 1916. And so we figured 105 years is probably a good enough time to open a time capsule. So that's what we're here to do. And I will pass it on to Dave, who will be speaking about the time capsule and everything.
Hello, my name's Dave Benyon. I'm the Vice President of the Franklin Historical Society. One of the questions I've heard quite often the last week is, why 105 years? Well, that's an interesting story. One of our members was driving by the church in 2018, and she happened to notice it said 1916 on the corner, and she said, I wonder if we missed something. So she went and did some research and found a newspaper article that, in fact, there was a time capsule in the cornerstone. Didn't give much of a description of it. It just said that they had put in some lists of parishioners and benefactors, who the President of the United States was, who the bishop was at the time, just general information, and coins of the time. So it doesn't sound like it's a lot of items, but they're significant items. So in 1916, it was the middle of the First World War, the war to end all wars, and the people of Franklin were building a new Catholic church to replace the old church, which had been in poor repair. The cornerstone was laid for the new building, and a time capsule to communicate with people in the future was placed inside the cornerstone. I've had people say, well, exactly what is a time capsule? I think most people know, but I looked it up. Wikipedia defines a time capsule as a historic cache of goods or information, usually intended as a deliberate method of communication with future people and to help future archaeologists, anthropologists, or historians. The preservation of holy relics dates back for millennia, but the practice of preparing and preserving a collection of everyday artifacts and messages to the future appears to be a much more recent practice. Time capsules are sometimes created and buried during celebrations, such as a World's Fair, a cornerstone laying for a building, or at other ceremonies. The time capsule we are opening today may appear small, but the importance is not small. These items represent what the times were like, what the people were like, and what our community was like in 1916. Now, many times, time capsules are made of many different substances. The one in St. Mary's in St. Albans, when they took that out a few years ago, was made of glass, which of course did a good job of preserving what was inside. That, however, they had a wooden stopper in it, and the stopper had swollen, so they couldn't get it out. So they ended up having to break the glass bottle to get the documents out. Apparently, the people in Franklin decided to use this tin can.
Hold it up, yeah.
Small. So this is 2.5 inches high, and it's 4-inch diameter. But that's what they saw fit to send to the future. Yes. Okay. All right, you're not going to be able to get it off. No, not without a tool. And I don't know if you're going to want to do it. You're going to do it. Okay. I got to start there. It's probably going to self-destruct. Put that in there. You want me to loosen it up a bit for you? I wasn't sure it would work. I think it will pull off. Okay. Here it comes. Okay. Okay, so
Dave, you want
yeah, so
to? Got a lot of rust on this document.
yeah, we. In hindsight, a steel can probably was not the best choice because although it was, once the concrete was dry, it stayed very dry in that cornerstone. But in the process of drying, it was exposed to the wet concrete, which tends to be rather caustic. And it took its toll.
With that.
oh, it's a letter.
It is in Latin. Okay, quit your laughing. In the year of our Lord, 1916, the 5th day of the month of November, the Reverend Bishop Joseph J. Rice, Bishop of the Diocese of Burlington, and the Reverend Joseph A. Dame, Officio. That one I can't make out. Woodrow Wilson, President. Charles Gates, Governor. And they apparently he's going on to say he blessed the capsule. And this is the condition of the document.
Now, these documents, we're going to have them deacidified so that they will last until they open this up again.
So that's that one.
Okay, all right, and then some newspaper.
Boy, they really stuffed it in there, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Looks like it's a Enosburg Standard.
Yes, I believe that's what it is.
This is gonna be.
Reverend J. Dane.
It's dated November 3rd, 1916.
I assume that's probably the paper of the day.
Yep.
And Father Dame just put it in.
That was probably would have been the last issue because it was a Sunday they put it in.
Yep.
You got it?
Yeah, we probably should get this right under the glass. too. And I suspect they put the newspaper in not so much for what specifically was in it, but just a general idea of what was in newspapers at the time.
Looks like it was a
Part of the, it was a postcard, part of a postcard.
but it's basically illegible.
It was- Postage was 1 cent. Yeah.
Now it costs 2 cents. Okay, a miraculous medal. Okay, and this is another medal. Not sure what medal it is.
There's a lot of corrosion on this stuff.
Yeah, religious medals. Let me see. I can't see who it is. This would need to be cleaned a little bit. It's another Blessed Mother level, different medal of Our Lady.
Not as many coins as I thought.
No. Another medal. Well, they put a whole bunch of Sacred Heart medal, I believe.
And 2 coins.
Hard to see.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, these probably could use a little bit of a loving bath. This is a penny, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's no later than 1916, you know that.
Yep.
Keep it close, Ray.
Yep, 1916 penny. Looks this one actually looks great. It survived the drop.
This penny is I can't read the date because of the corrosion, but they first minted wheat pennies in 1909.
Yeah.
So it's no older than that.
Yeah, yeah. This one's a Canadian dime, 1916 Canadian dime. It's another religious medal, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause it's got the beacon on it.
Yeah. Too corroded for me to really.
You see, does that help?
Yeah, I think it needs a good bath, or whatever you do. Okay, and then there's just some 1916 vintage rust.
What an absolute treat and privilege to be able to be a part of this event. I had never seen a time capsule before. Frankly, I was expecting them to be a little bit larger, but it's not the size of the capsule that counts.
It's the quality.
And this was a high quality event that we were thrilled to be able to bring to you on Northwest Access TV. You know, Bryce, I think that with public support, public access, Northwest Access should be able to be back in 105 years for the next big reveal.
I 100% or 105% agree with you, Wesley. It was great to see just a little picture into the life of folks in 1916, and we're excited, well, someday when the folks in 100 years from now get to take a peek into our lives, and hopefully they'll know Northwest Access TV was a part of it, and that public access is still going strong.
And until then, I've been Wesley Kempton.
And I remain Bryce Batchelder. See you in 100 years.